Loewe, the Spanish house that turned craft into modern luxury. When craft becomes strategy. In luxury, craftsmanship is often treated as heritage, a reference to the past, a signal of authenticity. But some brands do something different. They take craftsmanship and turn it into a modern system. Few houses demonstrate this transformation more clearly than Loewe. Because at Loewe, craft is not preserved as nostalgia. It is structured as a strategy. Materials are not only selected for quality, they are chosen for how they behave, how they fold, how they stretch, how they respond over time. Leather, in particular, becomes a medium of experimentation. Cut, layered, reconstructed into forms that feel both technical and organic. Technique is not hidden behind the final product. It is made visible, elevated into the design itself. Seams become lines of intention, edges become statements of control. Construction becomes part of the aesthetic language. This creates a different kind of luxury, one that does not rely on decoration or excess, but on precision, on process, on the quiet complexity of making something exceptionally well. And over time, this approach compounds. Because when craftsmanship becomes systematic, it becomes repeatable, refinable, scalable without losing identity. In doing so, Loewe shifts the role of craftsmanship from something that supports the product to something that defines it, not as a memory of the past, but as a tool for building the future of luxury. Origins in Madrid. Loewe was founded in Madrid in 1846. It began as a collective of leather artisans, focused on precision, material quality, and traditional craftsmanship. In its early years, the brand was defined by leather goods, bags, accessories, objects built to last. This foundation would shape its identity for generations. Enrique Loewe Roseberg and brand development. The brand evolved under Enrique Loewe Roseberg, who expanded its operations and established Loewe as a recognized name. Royal patronage followed, positioning the house within Spain's elite. This period transformed Loewe from a workshop into a luxury brand, but its identity remained tied to leather craftsmanship. And that continuity was not accidental, it was carefully protected. As the business expanded, production did not shift toward mass efficiency. Instead, it refined specialization. Workshops focused on technique, on consistency, on mastering the behavior of leather at a deeper level. Growth came through control, not dilution. Retail presence increased, visibility improved, but the core remained intact. Because what Enrique Loewe Roseberg understood was simple, a luxury brand cannot rely only on recognition. It must be anchored in something real. In Loewe's case, that anchor was leather. Not just as a material, but as a discipline. This allowed the brand to scale without losing credibility, to enter elite circles without becoming ornamental, and most importantly, enter Jonathan Anderson. Loewe's modern transformation began in 2013, when Jonathan Anderson became creative director. At the time, the brand was respected, but not dominant. Anderson introduced a new vision, one that combined traditional craft with contemporary design. He did not replace the brand's heritage, he reinterpreted it, turning craftsmanship into a central design language. Design as interpretation. Under Jonathan Anderson, Loewe did not abandon tradition, it reinterpreted it. Instead of treating craftsmanship as something hidden, it became visible. Stitching, construction, material manipulation. These elements were no longer just technical. They became part of the design language. This shift transformed craft from background process into foreground identity. The puzzle bag. One of Loewe's most defining products is the puzzle bag. Its design reflects the brand's philosophy. Geometric panels, complex construction, a structure that folds and shifts. The bag demonstrates how craftsmanship can create form, not just support it. It became an icon because it offered something different, a recognizable design built on technical execution, material experimentation. Loewe expanded its approach to materials. Leather remained central, but it was used in new ways: soft structures, unexpected textures, innovative forms. The brand also explored other materials: ceramics, textiles, collaborations with artisans. This experimentation reinforced its identity, a house where craft evolves, rather than remains fixed. Cultural relevance. Loewe's transformation extended beyond product. It became culturally relevant. Runway shows reflected artistic concepts. Campaigns emphasized creativity. The brand aligned itself with contemporary art and design. This positioning attracted a new audience, one that values creativity as much as craftsmanship. The return of craft. For years, luxury shifted toward visibility. Logos became larger, branding became more direct, recognition became immediate. But over time, this approach began to lose impact. Because visibility is easy to replicate, craft is not. Loewe's emphasis on craftsmanship aligns with this shift. A return to substance, to processes that require skill, time, and precision. But this return is not nostalgic. It is corrective, a response to saturation, to a market where everything is seen instantly and forgotten just as quickly. Craft slows that cycle down because it cannot be rushed. It resists automation. It demands human input at every stage, and that difficulty creates value, not just in the object itself, but in the time embedded within it. Hours of iteration, moments of adjustment. Decisions that are invisible, but essential. This is what modern luxury is rediscovering. That rarity is no longer just about access, it is about effort. And in that context, craftsmanship becomes more than a feature, it becomes a filter, separating what can be produced quickly from what must be built carefully. That distinction is subtle, but in luxury, it is everything. Position in modern luxury. Today, Loewe occupies a unique position. It is part of LVMH, one of the most powerful groups in luxury, but it operates with a distinct identity, less focused on heritage storytelling, more focused on creative evolution. This allows the brand to bridge two worlds: traditional craftsmanship and contemporary design. Why Loewe continues to grow. Loewe's growth is not driven by trend cycles. It is driven by its system, a consistent focus on craft, a clear design philosophy, and a willingness to experiment within that framework. These elements create stability because they are difficult to replicate and difficult to scale quickly. What Loewe represents. Loewe represents a shift in how luxury is understood. It suggests that craftsmanship is not only heritage, it can be innovation, a way to create new forms, new structures, new ideas, without losing connection to the past. But more importantly, it reframes value itself. From something visible to something constructed, where the worth of an object is not defined by its logo, but by the intelligence behind its making, the precision of its cut, the intention of its form, the discipline of its construction. In this way, Loewe positions craftsmanship as a language, one that communicates without excess, without explanation, a language understood through detail. The final verdict. Loewe did not become a leading luxury house by abandoning its origins. It became one by redefining them. By turning craftsmanship into a modern language, the brand created something distinct, a system where tradition and innovation are not opposites, but parts of the same process. And that system is what gives the brand durability. Because while aesthetics can change and trends can shift rapidly, a foundation built on method remains stable. Loewe does not chase relevance. It engineers it through material, technique, and design logic. This is what separates it from many modern luxury brands. Not visibility, not scale, but control. control over how things are made, and therefore control over how they are perceived. In the end, Loewe demonstrates a broader principle of modern luxury, that the future does not belong to brands that simply preserve the past, but to those that know how to rebuild it with precision.